Just in time. I made the mistake of putting Friday night instead of Thursday night.
Oh.
And I'm getting corrected. As usual. I'm wearing my shades because my eyes bother me. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I know. I thought it was Friday night. I don't know why. I just did. So forgive me. How's everyone doing? So you get a day early. Happy Friday, a day early.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Teresa, I saw Nikki on there. I saw Luann. Can't scroll back, so I can't tell you. Even harder with the sunglasses on.
Vicky, Luann, Cheryl, Carrie, Teresa, Ann, Marie. I think you got them all.
All right. So, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was Friday. I just did. We have a party to go to tomorrow night, so I should have known that it wasn't Friday. Everything is jumbled because we're doing investigations on Tuesdays and every other day.
Hi, Deb.
Running around all day. Hey, Deb, how are you? Karen, how's it going? So, yeah. When we left you last, we were, Katie, another one from Australia. I told you, man. We're like Hasselhoff, man. We go overseas. We're going to be the next big thing out there. I heard that. I
think we should go to Australia or New England.
I heard that Nick Groff, that Death Walker show, was like really big in France and all that other stuff. And I know, I don't even know if it's over here, but I heard like his show is like huge. That's what John Zappa said, right? So, yeah, maybe Australia.
Maybe there's hope for us yet.
Maybe we're big over. Maybe that's where we need to sell a show.
Hey, Tracy.
So, when we left you last, we were at Berkeley College, as promised. We had gone there. Hey, Christine, we had gone there. Chris and I don't even know how long ago. Was it a month ago? Something like that. We had first gone there when we were contacted. It was one of those things where they knew we were at Centenary and they wanted us to come and check it out and tell us about what was going on there. And we went through the cemetery. We couldn't show you that stuff on the live stream because it was getting dark and there was a lot of bugs out there. So we did tour through the statues with all the that was pretty weird too. I have pictures. I should have uploaded them, but that was pretty weird. Again, if you're a religious person, you would know what they mean, but there was a cave that you went into.
It was it was
7 stations, something like that.
Of the religious thing.
Yeah, it was really, really.
Again, it's the tomb where Christ was laid out, and they have like Christ like laid out, the statue of Christ laid out in it and stuff. So it all of it was really interesting. The crucifixion, it just does. Each station does the whole story, and it goes right up through to the crucifixion.
How cool is it with the lights on my sunglasses? It looks like I have 2 white eyes. See that?
What, you look like an alien?
Yeah, it reminds me of we went into Spirit Halloween today and all the cool stuff that we saw there. But the monitor is too bright. It really, I know it's for Grandma here to see, but for me,
I can't see.
It really, really bothers my eye. So I can't see.
All I have to say is that if I had money,
Stations of the Cross.
John's always saying that I'm a hoarder. I would have been a hoarder just from Spirit Halloween stuff. If I had the money, we'd have boxes stacked all over here. If I could have gotten everything I wanted from there. Hey, Celine.
Oh, she's a.
What are you watching? You're enjoying yourself on vacation, girl. It's great that you're watching.
This where you gotta pull the car back on the road, or she's gonna have private conversations with everyone on the side.
I'm just shocked.
Okay, well,
you're shocked.
It's okay to be shocked. Anyway, back to what we were doing before. Let me tell you though, sidebar, real quick.
But you can get distracted. No, we don't need to go there. We don't need to go there.
My distraction is about the paranormal savior and the power that is
Lord,
in these hands and this aura that I emit. We were driving down a
oh yeah
2-lane road. This was just yesterday. 2-lane road, 50-mile-an-hour road. 2 lanes going this way with a double line separating the 2 lanes coming the other way. And we're driving, we're talking, and I don't know what happened. And if you never see the movie, if you're a Tom Cruise fan like me, there's a movie called Days of Thunder where he's driving through the smoke after he got through a wreck. Well, all of a sudden, yes, exactly. That's how bright my aura is now, John McGinnis, that I can't even see like a normal person anymore. So we're driving, and what are you doing over there? You're still laughing about that?
Continue, please.
Oh, wait. That was that funny? It was a throwaway line.
I can't believe you're comparing yourself to Days of Thunder. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I'm driving, and even though someone is nervous Nelly when I drive,
I suffer high anxiety.
Nervous Nelly hitting the make-believe brake.
I'm not screaming.
I call her happy feet.
I'm not saying
when I drive because the feet are like all over the place. So anyway, because I was driving on this occasion, we were both saved. I'm driving. This crazy person decides that from a 2-lane road that goes straight, divided by 2 yellow lines, they're going to do a U-turn and hook back around the other way.
From a turning lane, no less.
They were all the way over in the right, and they decided to do this. Now, we're coming. I didn't even see them because a van had stopped knowing that these nuts were going to try to turn. I guess they had their blinker on. So I circle around the van, and lo and behold, there's a car facing this way, sideways. And I'm coming this way. And I don't know. I just saw that. I hit my brakes. I knew I wasn't going to stop. So I jerked the car right. The van moved a little, and I was able to get around them. And it was just like that it happened.
Yeah, but I'm going to point this out. And again, this is there are certain things. Okay, we all have near misses all the time. That's the typical. But I think about this one is that I literally closed my eyes because I saw that there was no way that we're going to miss hitting this guy, T-boning. That's how bad it was and how close it was. And there were several things that happened at the same time. One, John's real quick thinking and not panicking was the big one. But also the worker van that was here making a right, all of a sudden saw that van do what it did, and he literally stopped. And if he hadn't have stopped, there's no way we would have missed the other van. He gave us just enough room for John to take that maneuver that he did. I mean, that it was really good. It was, again, I asked him after, because after it was over and we got through, the realization that we did make it through that, my palms just went, all right. For anyone who doesn't know, I suffer extremely high anxiety. Most people won't know it. I contain it really well, but I do. And my hands were clammy. My heart was beating. And I just looked at him and I just said, that didn't even get your heart rate up. That was just like, and I go, even during? And he was like, no, after a little bit. Yeah. Because of thinking about what could have happened. And I go, but how could you, and at what point in your brain did you realize that we weren't going to?
There's a steel. You see this? See that? Perfectly still.
I shouldn't feed into his.
No, the guardian angel thing. You know what's funny?
I believe in that.
Is that there's been stuff going on and personal stuff, like real important stuff that matter, makes a difference. And it's been like, she'll tell you, it's like with me, when bad things happen, they stack up.
Yeah.
I mean, and they literally just boom, 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 boom. And that kind of thing. But some of these things were really, really important, personally. And, you know, of course I talk to my mom like I always do. And that accident was the last thing I was thinking. I mean, that was just what it was. But today when we were out together and Chris has a habit of, and I know I'm going to get back on the paranormal stuff in a minute. Chris has a habit of taking off before she knows where she's going. Like literally every time we'll be going someplace where we don't know where we're going. And before I can even put it in the Waze or the GPS, she's already driving. And I'm like, you don't know where you're going. Where are you going? Because, you know, we could have to turn around. We could have to And of course, this time
it's not like we've left.
She was doing the same thing she does like always. And I said to her, "You're taking off," and we don't. So she stopped. And when she stopped, a red cardinal, right around where we were and onto the branch and just kind of hanging out with some other birds. And that was a sign that I think everything was going to be all right. And it has been in a way.
But we're still in the parking lot of the complex. It's not like we're out on the highway and like
even on the
he's got time to plug it in. It's just like
you don't do it all the time.
Oh, I do drive off before. Yes, 100%. But it's not like we're on the highway when I do it. We're still close to.
We still could have to turn around and go back the other way.
Thank you, Vicky. We need a shirt that says "That'd be more like Chris," right?
Let's do that.
Kind, nice, patient.
Sure.
We'll get there.
Whatever. You keep telling yourself that.
I don't get all freaked out about directions and stuff because as long as you know you're.
No, just about a car stopping a little.
Yeah, well, that's different.
That's different. She's a pointer too. She's always got a. If you don't think you're going the wrong way, right way, this is what you get.
Okay, all I have to say, has anybody heard me throw John under the bus?
No, but it's what you do.
For anything.
That's what you do. That's what you do. I get lost.
I think they know who the savior really is if I start throwing you under the bus.
So anyway, back to Berkeley. So we toured it. We knew about the cemetery. We knew about the area in the middle there because it was the Sisters of the Immaculate
Conception.
Yeah. And we knew all about that, but we weren't going to go out in the woods. We all decided we're not going to go to the cemetery because I feel it's disrespectful. And
thanks,
we weren't going to go in the woods by the religious monuments either because I wasn't doing that either. I tempt fate enough. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't messing with, if there is that guy or girl or woman or whatever, I wasn't messing with that. So in the building, we had walked through and we had heard about a few things here and there. So again, Mike, who was with us that night, Mike is a character, real funny, nice guy. Mike's a very nice guy, very open to what we do and how we do it, obviously. And, at first he was just like, what do I need to do? I'll stay out of your way. I'll be quiet. I'll be whatever. But then it was like, hey, you're here. The stuff was going on partly in your office. Just hang out, come with us. They may react more to you. So he literally took the phone and didn't let it go.
He was a natural.
Didn't let it go the whole night. And we were like, hey, saves someone because we go back and forth with the phone. So for us, it was like, sure.
It freed up my hands. I was able to do what I needed to do. And John, and it just worked out perfect. And he did a good job. He did a very good job.
So, again, we went in there with no expectations whatsoever. And it was kind of
surprising.
I don't know if it was surprising.
I think I was surprised.
But it took a little while. I was afraid nothing would happen, to be honest with you.
You did.
But it took a little while for anything to happen. In his office, there really wasn't much. We tried to do an EVP the way we thought we should do it from the other room. Not much there. You got a vibe from the hallway. You had smelled something.
Oh, yeah. And then that's where you got the stick figures.
Well,
is that where you went with it?
Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward.
Well, where did you think I was going to go with it?
I was just leading into. There's such a thing called, you're not a storyteller.
I'm not.
See, that's your issue.
I'm not.
You want to go, so there's this guy, Michael Myers, and he tells everyone the girl lives at the end.
I don't do that either.
There's not a whole movie there. You can't. I set the stage, set mood.
You are the stage.
Atmosphere.
You are the stage.
Well, you go ahead and tell. Go ahead. You explain. You take us through the evening.
No, I'm just saying about.
Go ahead.
That area where you said it's just like I have this thing about smells. For whatever reason, I get overwhelmed by some of the smells that I have. And that was where, when we did the walkthrough, that excessively heavy, pungent cologne smell, where the older generation, my father's generation, where it smelled like they took a bath in it and they can't smell it themselves anymore. That's like a type of cloud that I walked into. And and I have asthma, and it was hard to breathe. And John and Mike are walking right by this area, like, nothing. And I'm like, you guys really can't, that didn't hit you? And they're both, no. And they walked, and they did, they humored me. They walked right back over. I could smell it real strong. They didn't smell a thing. So that, and I just felt something. It was weird there. That's all I'm going to say about that spot. I don't want to mess up your.
But that's called setting the stage instead of jumping right to the stick.
There you go. I set the stage.
You're learning. I mean, it takes you a while.
I'm glad you humor me.
Hello, David. How are you?
Isn't he nice to humor
me? The coughing thing is weird.
He does.
Not always.
But you do tend
I
to.
get more.
Well, I think you do. You your throat gets irritated. Yeah. Or you do. There's like a cough that starts.
Is it really?
And then you get a headache.
I get the headache.
Yes, but you have the cough. They are very correct on that. You do get that.
Oh,
your throat starts to bother you and you start coughing.
I never even noticed that.
Yes, 100%.
So I'll take you on another little tiny sidebar here. So here we are investigating a college where adults go, right? And literally I'm watching Ghost Adventures in last night. And they're investigating a freaking, what is it? A preschool? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, they're kids. What is preschool? 4 years old? 5-year-old?
Yeah,
is that preschool?
Kindergarten.
They're investigating a preschool and saying that there's the beast.
An active one.
A demon in the basement. I was talking to the TV the entire
he wasn't talking. He was yelling like, who's letting him in there to do that? This is a school.
You're saying there's a demon in the basement? There's a little tiny 4-year-old
And your only rationale was
Elmo is on the shelf and there's a demon in the basement?
And the rationale that he came up with, well, it must be that they figure the kids don't watch it because they're too young. So, but again.
The parents might see it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I love that. I love that show. Don't think I'm bashing Zach and those of it. I love that show more than anyone. But I watch that show and I'm like, wait a minute, what are we doing now? You see like the Christmas decorations and there's little tiny chairs that the little guys and girls sit in.
We've never done
and
that
there's
to
a
school.
Demon in the basement.
We learn from House.
They're calling on the beast, and I'm like, little kids are gonna come in here.
She was cracking up too.
Are you kidding me? Anyway, I'm sorry. I get sidetracked. I just had to bring that up. I just remember that. So here we're in a college with adults, and again, we'll go sidetrack a little bit. We went into a middle school.
Taylor.
Hey Taylor. We were invited into a middle school to do an investigation. This is
way back.
We're gonna go back in the Wayback Machine. And we did it under double secrecy, where we were told, and we told everybody who was there, we're coming in. We'll tell you, the people that brought us in, because, the custodians were the ones who were seeing everything and telling everyone. And we said, we'll show them and we'll show anybody else who invited us in who wants to see what we capture. If we'll film it, there was no live streaming back then. We'll just film it and we'll show everyone whatever we catch who wants to see it. We'll invite us in. We won't mention a word. We'll sign any confidentiality. We won't show any evidence. We won't even talk about this thing. Nope. So we didn't, but somebody did. One of the custodians told the teacher who, blah, 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 and next thing you know, we have parents and stuff saying, hey, I don't know if I want my kid coming back here because our religious beliefs, blah, 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 blah. So they had to put out a bit of a fire with that.
That was also that janitor used that as an excuse to leave the job, to quit, saying that he felt
he was the one who was afraid to go up on the second floor. So that's why I would never, ever go into a school where minors were. Just even if everyone was cool with it, whatever, wouldn't do it.
Nope.
Wouldn't do it. Too much of a liability. So we go into a college where adults are. And again, that first hallway, nothing was happening for a while. And we were doing what we do everywhere else, not really getting any EVPs or anything. And I was really surprised. The EMF was too high. And that's another thing we do. If you're ever with us in a building or you're watching us live stream, if the EMF is too high, we take the EMF detectors and no use. There's no sense in trying to make it work or knowing that it's false positive.
Nope.
So So I went out there when they were still filming in the office. I laid the tripwire on the ground, and they were just, it was like third close encounters, just all over. So I took them. I'm like, we can't use them. Don't put anything on the ground that's EMF. Everything static, everything motion, everything touch. And nothing was happening to my surprise. And we covered that whole hallway. Hallway.
I actually brought him out while you were still getting stuff with Tanya after you set up the initial.
Yeah.
I sat out and I talked and had everybody in the hall with me just trying to see. And very standoffish in the beginning.
And then we get to the point where, again, I have the SLS, and I'm mapping down the hall because I was curious if anybody would approach from that way, thinking that's how it works most of the times. If you're not getting the initial interaction from whoever around you, they're usually going to come from a direction. And we try to cover those entrances as well. So we're thinking down the hall, nothing. And I randomly took the SLS and I turned this way, and I had the wall right in front of me, and bam.
And guess where that was?
Standing right there. And I was like, okay, here they are. And probably my favorite moment, and I'm sure a lot of the people had the same thing, when that person's spirit was kind of sitting up against the wall. And first the hand was pointing. It was pointing in a direction, like that way, that way, that way. And we kept asking, could you reach down and touch? And when you saw the hand of the stick figure actually touch, and the cat ball started lighting up.
Boom. And you see it. I got to go back and watch that, and I was like, because I was on the other, I didn't get to see that. So.
I love that.
But you know exactly where that spot is, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly where I smelled that cologne that was so heavy, that was overbearing.
I love that.
Right there.
For me, a lot of people would like, there are people who, again, especially novices and Mike and others, who would be kind of like, oh my God, like, oh, wow, that's somebody's there. Somebody's there. But we've been doing this so long that it's such an adrenaline rush where you're just like, great, intelligence. Somebody's listening. We're seeing them touch it, and there it is. So that person was there. You talking about my hands? I'm Italian, man. I always talk with my hands. You should have seen me on the cable access show.
You won't be able to talk without his hands.
You're even going to get me even more sidetracked. On the cable access show, they used a green screen for some of the things that we were doing. And we had cue cards that we would write up for ourselves. And they were usually different colors, like white or something. The one time we used the green one. And it was like, I'm using it, and I kept doing this as I was talking, and I'm referring to my card, and you just saw like the background would blend in of whatever the green screen, and it was all around my face, and it was moving in the background. That was the funniest. And they laughed, and they kept it in. It was awesome, but it was funny. So so that figure all of a sudden turned into two when first Chris was standing by herself, and whoever it was standing near her. And then Tanya and Chris were standing by each other, next to each other, and two, boom, boom, one on either side.
That was crazy.
And the one left when Tanya moved, but the other, you turned around and face to face.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to it.
And wouldn't react any other way, but there.
And just for full disclosure, and you heard me say that, I'm sure, when I was talking to John when John came out, I kept feeling like when I stood up, I didn't feel any cold air at all. But on the ground where I was, I felt like a wave of cold that would come across. And I did say to John, do you think it's the air conditioning? When he goes, yeah, I think it's the air kicking on or whatever. But when I was standing there, I felt that same kind of cold. It was different. And I was sitting in different areas where the air would kick on and you would feel like that, just gradual. But this was like like somebody walking by you, and it causes that little disturbance in the air. And that's how it felt like. And that's what I felt when you said something was behind me. I felt that too. I actually felt that type of static cold. I guess that's the best way to say it.
I'm not the one who talks with my hands. You see, that whole time I was watching her hands the whole entire time.
Static!
Anyway, so the problem was, again, Mike has 2 toddlers, right? Isn't that what you
Yeah,
said?
he's got 2
So,
little guys.
Mike had to get home,
2
and
little
he had to
ones.
get up for work the next day. And I'm sure the security guy as well. So when you hit a point where things are going on, and this is why with the creeper gallery, the same way, we can't spend forever, an hour and a half with one object, an hour and a half. When you're in that building, we walked in and that's where we were. How far was that?
Oh,
20, 30 feet
far
from the door where we walked in. So we knew if we wanted to get anywhere, we had to get down that hallway and get somewhere else. And that was just in that building.
There's so much more. So much more. We didn't even cover in that building.
So we decided, let's go down the hall, even though we could have spent way more time on that floor trying different things. We decided to go upstairs. We didn't make it into what I think is the coolest room. And they have a medical training room.
Oh, God.
And you want to talk about your worst nightmare? It's hospital beds, and it's like crash test dummies that look like people.
But they got weird
and
looks
they have
on their
eyes
faces.
that open and mouths that open and sensors on them where they can move. And I wanted to go in there so bad and do some investigating, because if those dummies would have sat up or something, that would have been the greatest moment in live streaming history. We would have there. You could. I don't know if you can hold that up there.
I'm gonna try.
It's right there. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. That's good.
Crazy, right?
So those things, they have sensors on them, and their eyes will pop open and they'll sit up, and their mouths will open. I wanted to go. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't find time to get in.
The beds are all lined up in there like it's a hospital room. Crazy, right?
I mean, again, the essay method, I'm all for it when it comes to certain things, but I think, and I'm not mentioning any TV show in particular, I think a lot of TV shows use it just for, like, again, Ghost Adventures I love. But I know Ghost Adventures, they have a formula for how they want to do their show. And I know they film different segments to where we have this, we have that, we have this, we have that, and we have more of this in case we don't get any of that. You could tell it's very formula. What's the word? Formulatic.
It's a formula.
And I think with a lot of these other shows that they have that built in, just in case they don't get a lot of EVPs and a lot of shadows and they don't see a lot. They can throw their headphones on, they can throw their blindfold on, and whatever happens, you don't know what's coming out of there. And again, to Ghost Adventures' credit, Zach played it externally as well as internally. So whatever he was hearing, we heard it on the speaker.
Yeah.
That's how the essay should be done, not with just headphones and, people want. That's just me. No, don't be sorry at all, Vicky. It's just, for me, would it be worth doing? Sure, it would be worth doing. But, I'd rather do other things than do that. So we make our way upstairs. And when we were doing the walkthrough, the reason we set up shop in that one particular hallway, because we were walking through with Mike, this guy Jay, and the 3 of us, and we came through this door. You get lost in that building. I would definitely get lost in that building. And we come through this one door, and Tanya said she heard what sounded like a woman scream or say something.
Yeah, they heard someone scream.
And Jay heard it too. So, again.
And to be fair, Jay and Tanya were closer down that way where we were closer this way. So where we were, I think it cut off the corner where we couldn't hear what they heard. So,
so we kept the note of that, and we said to ourselves, you know what? We'll come back to this place. If you heard that, this is where we should come back. So we went back. That's why we went to that one location and we laid everything out. We stayed there for a while, because if someone was capable of doing that when we just walked through for 1 minute, what would they do when we were there for an extensive period of time? We put all the equipment out and we tried a lot of different things. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot there. No. And again, it makes you wonder.
I think the only thing that happened is in that hallway where that scream happened, because we had moved to the other side. but where we all were standing when they heard that music box went off, and that box said, it said, you should leave, and then it would be wise, something like that effect. I don't remember exact, but I think that's what it said.
But it's one of those instances where.
Oh, and by the way, we had a stick figure there for a very short period of time with you and Tanya.
I didn't see it. I was on the other side.
I know, you and Tanya were on the other end.
But it was one of those instances where you get the feeling we walked in on somebody, or we walked in on a moment of something playing back. Because another reason we went up there was because there was where the nuns supposedly stayed, right?
It was their dorms.
Their rooms were up there. And we couldn't spend as much time in the cathedral as we wanted to. That was when he walked us through where all the chairs were and everything. That's where supposedly the nuns had their hospice and everything. And they would take care of people. And so we didn't really get into those areas. We went to the one area where on security camera they saw that used to be the laundry room. That's where we ended.
Yes.
And supposedly on camera, security camera, a chair went straight across the floor, and they all talk about it, and they all saw it, which is why we spent. And there was somebody there. That was the best AVP of the night.
Well, what was cool about that is that wasn't a story that was just handed down. Jay was actually there when that happened. He was the guy that came in, and he saw his boss there, and his boss was looking at a screen, and then he saw on their security camera the chair go right across, and his boss goes, you have to go right down to that laundry room and see if there's water on the floor and see if that chair is moving because of water, which is illogical. And we went down there was nothing. They could not physically or scientifically explain why that chair moved. And again, Jay was the guy that was involved in that. So when you get firsthand stories instead of just like something being passed down, you really tend to stop and really listen to the details. He said, I'm going to remind you, he goes, the school at this time had not been renovated, nothing had been done. And he goes, remember the floors that were rigid with the little squares and they were bumpy when you walked on them and stuff? That's how that floor was. So that chair couldn't have gone across that floor smoothly like that unless there was water or something. So to see that chair move and know that there was no water, it freaked him out completely.
And it's not as if it's not level or anything. It's not on an incline or anything.
No.
So we went in there, and the best EVP of the night by far. And I'm sure that freaked out the security guy who you couldn't see him. He was off camera. He was the one who had to open the room for us. And he was kind of off to the side. And that EVP, that wasn't me. I love that. Love that. Because we mapped 2 people in that storage pantry closet. And one of them was the one who didn't move the chair. And she came forward and said,
and you mapped the figure.
That wasn't me. 2.
In the chair.
Put 2 in that room.
Oh, we forgot about in Mike's office, and I'm watching.
Yeah, that was kind of low,
weird.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
But it was there. You could hear it. I'm watching.
The security guy, he came in as we came into the other building because he had to let us into that room.
Yeah.
And he stayed over to the side. And again, you guys don't get to see when we finish because, we're done. And you always wonder, because we knew a lot of people from the university, the college were watching, faculty, administrators, blah, blah, blah. And you're never sure how people are going to take things because they work there. And there was one woman in particular who said, I've been there for 30 years. I know there's stuff in that building. I know it. And she was going back and forth with Mike afterwards. And other people were reaching out, even though on the stream, saying, wow, this is great. Yeah, we knew it. Yeah, this is great. So it's cool because, again, when it's over, I reached out to Mike and I'm just like, hey, because, went to work the next day. I'm like, what's the feedback? Are people okay with what we did and how we did it? Because you never know. There could be one that has an issue with it. And he's like, no, overall, it was really, really well received and people enjoyed it. So, I mean, he invited us back to finish up and do wherever else we want to do. It's just a matter of when.
So there is a possibility of us doing an event there, huh?
Oh yeah, down the road.
Yeah.
For sure. Maybe not this year.
How about that?
Down the road, maybe next year for sure. But again, really nice people, very open to what we do and how we do it. And I think we are so jaded in that we do this so much, you know, and it takes a lot for us to go, wow, that's like, yeah, but when you're with people who haven't done it and are kind of thinking that it's possible that spirit is around them and they experience it, then it's like you see the look on their face and you think, boy, we our wiring has kind of changed because, look at them.
Thank you, Vicky.
And look at us. Too. We're like, have a good night, Vicky. So, all in all, great time, good time. We enjoyed ourselves, the three of us.
Before we went live, that guy Mike got a little bit like antsy because when he was talking to John down the hall and we were getting our stuff set up, the fluorescent light, little bulb over his head, he goes, "Y'all see that go out?" And it just came back on. He goes, "There's something going on here." And we're just like, "Well, you sure the bulb's not loose? Are you sure so there's not a, it's just like, none of y'all want to believe me what just happened? That's just fine because obviously the first thing we're going to do is the logical. We're not going to assume that it's something that's paranormal." And he was like freaking out before we even got started.
Laura, the difference between Centenary and Berkeley is that Centenary only lets us in one building. That one building you see in the picture is the huge admin building, which is multiple floors. Night, Katie.
Night, Katie.
Berkeley is multiple buildings. So they're connected, kind of, sort of. So we went from 1 2-story building to the big cathedral building it's different in that there's more space in Berkeley because it's more buildings. But even Centenary, we didn't get to go in all nooks and crannies of that building either because.
And I think the crazy thing to point out, even though we didn't get to cover a lot, we were actually in what's considered 3 different buildings in that time frame. You didn't see us going out and coming in because the way that they have it all connected and stuff, we actually worked around and we were actually hitting different floors. We didn't hit the basement, which they all get freaked out of. And the basement is, I was the only one that didn't have to duck down there or bend but it literally started out normal and like it just seemed like the roof was closing, going down, didn't it? It was almost like like you said, the Willy Wonka kind of. The room was narrow and getting smaller and smaller.
Mike said it's like Willy Wonka.
It was insane.
A door there, but it's so different when people think they've heard the stories and they heard people have experienced things, and it's so different when you get them and you're just like, look, we're turning off the lights. We're going in darkness. The one thing we're going to have is our flashlights. I don't care what building you're in. How do you say this? I'm going to say the true energy of the building shows itself in the dark. I've noticed that everywhere I've ever gone. It's like what you see with the lights on, I think, again, is your senses, everything. You feel so secure. Lights are on. I see everything around me. Everything is good. I can kind of hear what's going on.
It's like everything's kept back. Right?
Yeah, but once you turn the lights off, I think in my brain and my experience, like Chris said, I think spirit knows that, and whoever is going to come and communicate is going to come in the dark. I think it's more likely in the dark. Do I think you can only communicate with spirits in the dark? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the buildings that I've been in that are really active are way different in the dark than they are in the light.
But is that because we're more vulnerable and they feel more secure?
I don't know what the reason is, but it's like your mindset changes when the lights go off.
I think it's definitely more tangible.
Yeah, that's 100%. What I'm saying. And I like that about it because take the Creeper Gallery, for instance. If we were to go in there and investigate objects with the lights on, it wouldn't be as heightened as we're sitting there in the dark, not being able to see really most of the other things that are around us and just kind of focused on that one
particular putting the spotlight on that one object.
When you're in the dark in a building and you can only see so far down the hallway, or you can't see in this room next to you or in that room next to you, and maybe spirit can, that's different. You definitely feel, spidey senses.
I think that's true,
feel
Patricia.
Much different. It's hard to explain. And I think that's why people like coming to these events, because everything changes when the lights go out. You know, we bring people to a location, lights are on, and all of a sudden everybody go dark. Even when we do the ghost walk at the mine, and everybody has their flashlights on, and we're walking through that mine, and I say, okay, we're stopping here. Everybody turn your flashlights off.
That's true, Luann.
Nothing.
Luann says your brain can't help you out when you're in the total dark. You're right about that.
And your brain can't make sense of.
We got you, Katie.
You can't visually see everything, so your brain is guessing at, looking, trying to, focus or whatever. You can't. So it's just a different vibe. I think
I do not like being in the dark, knowing that there's something there that is not tangible, that I can grab, like you. If you're standing next to me, or even a stranger standing next to me, and and I'm comfortable, and I know, and at least I know that I can hit out at a stranger if they're attacking me. But if it's a spirit,
no, there's nothing. I say this during our events, and I just said it at Camp Evans as well. When we're done with an event and everybody's gone, and we're left to clean up and pick up everything, most of the time the lights are kind of down at the end of the hall, and you got to, walk down there. This is when you're by yourself and nobody else is in there. That 3-4 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever it is, you're like, okay, you realize you just spent 4 hours
with other people.
No, but communicating, working things up, getting spirit to interact, and now everybody's gone but you. And now you're like, okay, are they gonna kind of like, okay, you're by yourself now, or are they gonna do even more? Or that's when I saw the shadow figure at the mine, ran right by me down the stairs, and I just froze like, oh, please don't come back up here, because I gotta get all my stuff. And if you're gonna start messing with me the way you mess with the people that sleep down there, I'm not getting my stuff. I was literally like, I'm leaving it there, because I'm not touching that. I'm much forever with other warm blood. Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's different. And there's nothing better for me than going into a new place where no one's gone into, and seeing what's there, and hopefully validating what people have experienced, or just seeing things because you don't know. And I love that. I love that about it, because for me, every hallway I go down, every room that we enter, every place that we go, I'm like, here we go. Anything could happen here. You know what I mean? Anything could happen here. And I love that. I love that a lot. So I don't know where to point that. Oh, hey, Bob Christopher, what's up, my man? I haven't talked to you forever, Bob. Where you been? I'd love to see you do the Creeper Gallery basement again. I'd love to see this one.
Nope.
Right there.
Nope.
Right there.
No, I'm not stupid.
That would be the most entertaining thing you've ever seen.
No, listen. Let me make this 100% clear. What he just said about going to new places and discovering and the excitement and stuff, nah, I don't have that curiosity. I don't have that need to know. When we do events and we're leading people, even when I have to go in the mine by myself and I'm setting up for people to come in there, I say to what's in there, 100%, I know there's something there that's with me, many something. I will say, save it for the paying customers. Not interested, don't need it. My heart rate is good right where it's at. Don't mess with me. Him, he's all for it. He'd bring it. And I'm like, stop it. Leave me alone. Pick on these people. And I even say when we're doing group, you can touch anybody else but me. I set that standard right from the get-go. And that's who I am. I'm not the person that's going to go ahead, touch me. Go ahead, push me. I'm like, no.
David.
No.
Yeah, I'm different.
I know you are.
I live for it. So
well,
for
I
me,
don't.
it's like,
I do not.
yeah, but I would love to see, even if it were for 5 minutes in that basement by yourself. Come on. For Halloween. They all want it for Halloween.
What you going to pay me?
I don't get paid anything for doing that. See?
Do it. Yeah, bring it on.
Deb would do it. I know Deb would do it in a minute. One of the best experiences I've ever had was those footsteps above me. And I'll never forget that, because you want to talk about realizing you're alone. I realized I was by myself, quick, fast, and in a hurry when I heard those footsteps. And the first thing I thought of was, they're going to, whoever it is, if they shut that basement door, that's my only way out. If they shut that door and I can't get through there,
all right,
I am
I'll
screwed.
Do this for you. You go on our Facebook page and you see how many nay, keep Chris safe, or yay.
Oh, now you're appealing to people's sympathy and don't do it.
See?
Come on. They're all going to say keep her safe and don't put her down there. You know they are.
Let the people speak.
Come on. You know they will.
Yay or nay?
I would do it to you because I know you couldn't handle it. They were really loud. They were really loud.
Dana, thank you, Dana.
and I mean, they were literally right above my head.
And it was like, yay.
Right above my head. And that did freak me out. And believe me, it's one of those things, just like with the car, you don't think about it till after. But I thought about it after. Like, I didn't think of, in terms of spirit, if it was spirit, like I said, they closed that door and I couldn't get it open, that would have freaked me out. Because I do have a phobia of basements and attics. You wouldn't do that to me. And being in the dark. But if it was a person, that would have been even worse, because that would have meant some nut job walked into the building somehow and I got to try to get him out. That would have been even worse. So the basement was a nail biter. Really? I was on the edge of my seat, literally.
How could it not be? That basement is terrifying. That basement is dark. And I don't mean dark lights out. There's something down in that basement.
Oh, there is, for sure.
Did you ever go and show them right above that one doorway where it's got those creepy pictures of those kids?
Yeah, I showed them that initially when I was setting up. Yeah, the worst was there were no lights. There was no power down there whatsoever. And that's when I said to Donna's husband, Joe, I'm like, I need lights. What am I going to do? I need to set things up. Like you said, John, it will be entertaining. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That's just.
It would be like.
Fabulous.
I mean, I would sit right.
Phenomenal.
I would sit right up this top of the stairs and be by the door, if God forbid.
I'd be phenomenal every 2 seconds. Phenomenal.
Anything ever happened, I'd be right at the top of the stairs. But I would be shocked. Yeah, there you go.
New Hope 911.
I would be shocked if she lasted more than 2 minutes.
All right.
So she would hear a noise, she would hear something, and she'd be, hell no, I'm out of here. That's that. I know her. We went through Spirit Halloween, and what's in Spirit Halloween? Animatronic things that scream and jump and whatever. So
this didn't look. Listen, I didn't jump on anything else. This thing didn't. Let me before he goes further.
She's always got to defend it.
Yes, because this thing looked like it only could do 2 things: turn its head and maybe move its arms. But that's not what that sucker did.
I step on all the things so that they do whatever they're going to do, because I'm a big kid, and this one, like a kid, coming in from the side, and I'm standing in front of the thing, and I step on it, and she's just nonchalantly looking. Let's see what it does. And it jumped, and she.
I didn't holler.
She walked away because she was so embarrassed, and I was just like.
I wasn't embarrassed. I was frustrated that it scared the shit out of me. Listen, I first of all.
Oh, here we go.
I admit when something that scared me. Because it looked like the only thing it could do.
You don't jump for anything.
Move its head or move its hands. There was no, when things are going to pop out or it's going to move. You could tell by the design and everything. This thing was very compact. and didn't look like he could do it.
It was a little.
I'm sure he's got the video.
It was a little boy, like right, little clown boy.
Little clown boy.
Oh,
didn't look like he could do anything. He'll have to send.
And he kind of has his head down, and he has 2 candles, and he's saying something, and he kind of lulls you in with that music, and then he up.
Oh, and he does. I jumped right out of my skin. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I have no shame when it comes. See, I don't get embarrassed because something scares me. Just like I'm very open and honest about. Because it frustrated that it scared me because I didn't expect it. There's a part of where you get scared and you oh yeah, horror films and I don't like things that. All right, I'm the type of person when it comes to horror films. One, I like things left to the imagination. You don't have to hold my hand and lead me down the path of the gut and gore. I have no appreciation for gut and gore whatsoever.
No, the swear jar is for driving, Patricia.
John would be very wealthy if we had a swear jar.
She has a favorite saying that I should put on a T-shirt. That she says she stopped saying it because she knows she says it so much, and I pointed it out. But yeah, in the car, oh my, you would not believe innocent little Chris Therian's mouth when she gets behind the wheel. Not at all.
Again, I'm not hiding it.
I didn't say you were. I'm just saying you.
I know.
They know you were sweet. Be kind to everyone.
Because I
love everyone.
No, I didn't say love everyone.
No, not behind the wheel.
I said be kind to each other. But if a fool wants to do something stupid and idiotic behind the wheel when there's no reason to do it, that is so inconsiderate, speeding and cutting you off. And again, I can be an aggressive driver. But there's a courtesy when you drive as well.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But no one, my friends, is worse than Tanya Lund.
Oh.
You get in a car with Tanya, you might as well have your will in your pocket because you might need it.
Don't
because
sign a waiver.
That girl drives 90 miles an hour on the highway. Exit ramp, she does about 50 to where the tires are screeching, and she's blasting angry rap music the whole entire time and singing it while she drives.
While your ears are bleeding.
I will never get in the car with Tanya, ever, and she knows it. Never again. What may take me 15 minutes to get to a place will take her 3. No way. No way. She is nuts.
No, we're telling you the God's not an exit 25 miles an hour with a very sharp turn. That girl does not hit the brake or slow down, and the car, you can hear that the tire is losing traction. I'm just like,
there's a reason we take separate cars, and it's because we like getting to a place in one. Oh yeah, she's nuts. She is nuts. Yeah. We made the mistake of doing it probably a couple of months ago with her. We went to a flea market together, and a ride that should have taken us, 30 minutes, took about 15, 12. No, I would do that. Anyway, today is Thursday. You guys are right. I thought it was Friday. I don't know why I thought it was Friday. But tomorrow night we have a birthday party, Sweet 16 to go to. Yay for me. Loud music, bunch of teenage girls and guys, and that should be so much fun. So much fun.
Excuse me.
But Saturday night, we're probably going to go out and enjoy ourselves. It's our last Saturday night of the summer, Saturday during the summer to go out and enjoy ourselves. And then we start the September Madness. And that takes us. So real quick, the people who are watching.
September's my birthday month.
September 17th. But real quick, for the people that are watching, and you can comment. I'm going back and forth, struggling about whether we should do something for a New Jersey Paranormal fundraiser for November. Probably November 18th-ish. And I'm kind of on the fence about that because I feel really bad. I mean, it would be a ghost hunt and a kind of a get-together type of thing. We talked about this before at the Barron Arts Center in Woodbridge. But I'm so far on the fence about whether, I don't know, it feels weird for me. Like I don't know. We raise money for everybody else. It seems so strange for us to raise money for ourselves. But I know. So if you guys think that is cool and you're okay with it, then we'll do it. But I've really been on the fence because I don't ever want to feel like I'm taking advantage of you guys who follow us and and kind of, I was talking to somebody about certain celebrities kind of bilking their fans, not necessarily in the paranormal. And I feel some do. Like every penny they can get, they're selling this or selling that. They're blah, blah, blah.
Tony put his mark on it.
And I don't ever want to be that group.
No.
Did we decide we were already going to? Nikki, we already decided.
That's right. Nikki.
Let's party. Okay, you guys are cool with that. Again, I don't ever want to feel like we're taking advantage of you guys and how you support us. I really don't. And I feel like we do so much events and you guys support us so much in those events that this one would just be for us. And I don't know if that feels right,
So I will put this out there and I will say it. I'll have John do the post. Is if you guys want me to go into that basement, I'm not going to promise how long I'm going to last.
She doesn't even let my thing sit for 2 minutes before she's back on.
I'm just going to say
Take the camera, narcissist, and put it back on you. I think of the group. You see, now, there's some insight for you people. Insight. You just got a glimpse. John's all about New Jersey Paranormal, the paranormal community.
Thank God I am who I am. Thank God I am who I am.
Did you just see that? You may have missed it. You might want to go back and watch this. Do a timestamp, 57 minutes. Look what happened.
You want to see what's going to happen? You're going to see a lot. What are those snuff movies? Yes, it's all about me. Right, Patricia?
Do you even know what a snuff movie is?
Yes.
No, you don't if you just made that comment.
About somebody's actually killing somebody on film. Yeah. Why would you think I'm not?
Chris is all about you. You got it.
That's what you said. I said, yeah, it is. See? Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. And so did he.
So, again, if everybody wants to see Chris in the basement, let's forget about New Jersey Paranormal. And,
isn't that for New Jersey Paranormal?
Yes.
We can place bets to see how long she'll stay.
I will win that bet every time.
Well, let's see.
I started 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I will.
She will go down there.
Bite my tongue off to beat his
first
time.
Little noise that she hears.
Thank you,
hell
Patricia.
no! I'm getting out of here, and she's done.
I will
guaranteed.
Bite my tongue.
Guaranteed.
I will be so stubborn.
Guaranteed.
Just to beat your time.
So, I have to thank somebody before we close up shop.
Yes, 100%.
Today, for those of you guys don't know, I think I mentioned it before I put a post on there. My laptop completely fried. I lost my hard drive, lost everything. That was and stupid me. Yes, I'm old, and I don't have things on the cloud or on the Google Drive or none of that stuff. Everything was on my hard drive, and I lost everything. And it wasn't such a matter of the laptop. I could buy another laptop, but I lost the whole entire hard drive and everything on it, which is all New Jersey Paranormal stuff, all Expo stuff, everything gone.
Yeah.
So Maria, Tamara offered to help and salvage my computer or try to access my hard drive. It wasn't possible. So Tamara gave me a replacement laptop today. We went and met her and didn't ask me for anything in return. And I am really, really grateful that you guys are, so good to us and that, you do help us out and we try to do everything that we can for you guys and that we can do. But it's nice to have, you know what I mean, someone nice enough to say, hey, nothing in return. I have this. I'll prepare it. I'll get it ready for you. And she did. She just handed over
the goodness of
the
her
laptop.
heart.
She handed over the cord, gave me instructions to try to get my other one repaired and nothing in it for her. So thank you again. I thanked her privately, of course we did. But yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that because like Chris says all the time, that's what makes the world a better place.
It does.
Even something as simple as I'm kind of old school when it comes to I hold the door for everyone, male, female, whoever. If someone's behind me, I would never, ever let the door close on. That's a pet peeve of mine. If someone does that to me, I'm going to kill them. Because if I go to reach for and then they see me and let it go, I want to bash their head in that door. I want to slam it on them. But me, if I see someone coming, again, man, woman, or whatever, always, that little thing, little gesture makes the world better. You know, saying thank you, you're welcome, have a good day when you're leaving the store or your diner or whatever. Even the world is so messed up right now.
You just never know what someone's going through
even
or
that
what they're
little
dealing with.
tiny bit. If that's all you do, you still made a difference.
I can honestly say that I've been at my life hasn't been easy. I've had my, and a lot of us, our lives aren't easy. We all have our burdens to bear and things, and we just don't know what other people's burdens are. We just make assumptions. But I've had an absolutely horrible day, and just a stranger walking by and just nodding and acknowledging me and giving me a smile just kind of flips that switch that it's not so bad today. I'm going to recover from this. That person can give me a smile, and it just, there's something about somebody smiling at you and acknowledging at you that just makes you feel seen, and it just gives you that courage and strength to face what you have to. I mean, it's something as simple as that.
Unless they're a weirdo,
No, I'm not talking about weirdos. I'm not going down that path. We all know what a weirdo is. But you know what I mean? Like, you know this about me. I'll go by complete strangers when walking, and I'll nod at them, and I'll smile at them. And I do.
She smiles, to her credit. And I've loved her smile from the day I met her. And I say this all the time to her, and I mean it. Chris does not take a bad picture. She doesn't. Her smile is just, again, and it's so warm and welcoming.
Because I mean it.
And she does. I see her in stores or whatever, and whoever passes her by, she has a smile for them. Me, Walmart, you're lucky there's not chalk outlines.
That's true.
But
you know why I'm
that
that way?
Crazy, but
it's because the way that I got treated and how I was treated by people who were supposed to love you and be there for you and just beat you down and just make you. I absolutely refuse to make another human being feel like that for any reason, unless they just solidly deserve it and they're horrible to me intentionally, even after being nice. That's different. But why make someone else's world a harder place to be when it's already hard? What is the purpose? So if it's hard for me, I'm going to make it hard for you too? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No.
But I know we got off on the sidebar there, but just remember, if there's one thing you can learn from us about the paranormal, the do's and don'ts, for the love of God, don't go investigate a daycare center or
a school,
or preschool, whatever. And if you do, never say there's a demon in the basement.
No.
Never.
I don't think I would ever say anything's in there. I'd be like, oh, you're good.
Don't call upon the beast in preschools. Don't do it. Anyway, that's it. By the way, don't I look cool with the hair and the glasses?
You always look cool.
I look cool. I treat people like a lot. Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly, Cheryl. That's the whole point.
Thank you for reminding me that it's
in the class.
It is Thursday instead of Friday. We'll probably be back on Sunday because Saturday we're going to go out. We're going to hang out. We're going to enjoy ourselves and enjoy the rest of.
You have to, John.
I'm watching. John, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
If you watch none of the other ones.
I'm the biggest Ghost Adventure fan there is. Watch them all. But anyway. Kids getting a demon after the juice box of cookies. You're right about that. I think the chocolate milk is like blood colored in that school. Anyway, good night, guys. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
We'll see you Sunday night.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and please remember to be kind to each other. Good night.